So if you feel like nothing works for you, if you're starting to think you're broken or lazy, please hear this. You haven't done anything wrong. You've just been given the wrong information. But here's the good news. Real research on fat loss is finally happening. Research that actually understands how our bodies work. And what we're discovering will change everything. Let me show you what's really been happening inside your body. When you eat food, your body immediately gets to work. First, your digestive system breaks it down. Some of that food gets turned into energy and gets used right away. That energy helps power your brain, keep your heart beating, and fuel your muscles. But most of it gets turned into fat and then is stored in your fat cells for later. These are your body's built-in battery banks. They're designed to store energy and release it when you need it. Later, when you need more fuel, your body calls on those batteries. It sends signals to open them up, floods your fat cells with oxygen and fat-burning hormones, and burns the stored fat for fuel. That's how you stay slim and in control of your weight. Your body floods your fat cells with fat-burning hormones. Your fat cells crack open, and your body torches the fat inside for energy. So you stay slim, trim, and in complete control of your weight. But when your fat cells can't use oxygen properly, it's a disaster. Your metabolism slows down, your energy crashes, and your body starts hoarding fat instead of burning it. Why? Because oxygen is the spark that ignites your fat-burning fire. Now, for a long time, doctors, even experts, had no clue why this was happening. What would stop your fat cells from getting the oxygen they need? Then in 2023, a new study came out, and it proved what my colleagues and I had suspected all along. Scientists discovered the main reason for fat cells going on lockdown is sugar. When your cells don't get enough oxygen, sugar starts sticking to your fat cells. Over time, this forms thick, hardened layers, kind of like those jawbreakers we had as kids. These sugar shells build up, layer after layer, until it's as hard as a rock. Now, when your body sends fat-burning hormones to unlock that stored fat, it's nearly impossible for them to get through. They slam into that rock-hard shell and bounce right off. But it gets worse, because the less oxygen you have, the more of that sticky coating there is. And the more sticky coating there is, the harder it is for oxygen to get through. It's a vicious cycle that gets worse every day. When that happens, your metabolism slows to a crawl, and losing weight feels impossible. Now, you might be wondering, where does all this sugar come from? Well, that's the million-dollar question. You might think it's just from obvious sources like candy or soda, but the truth is much more sinister. The food industry has been quietly adding sugar to almost everything you eat. They use 262 different names for it, just so you don't realize how much is really in there. That healthy yogurt you had for breakfast, the whole grain bread you chose instead of white, even light salad dressing, granola bars, and oat or nut milk substitutes are packed with sugar. I always tell my patients, if sugar is in the first 3 ingredients, it's dessert, not food. All that hidden sugar constantly floods your bloodstream throughout the day, and every time it does, more sugar molecules stick to your fat cells, building that shell thicker and harder. And that's not all these sugar shells, these AGEs, affect. When sugar shells choke your fat cells, they release inflammatory byproducts that attack healthy tissue wherever they land, like little bombs. When they do that, they age you, just like the name says. If they hit your joints, you can get aches and pain. If they hit your skin, you could get wrinkles and dryness. If they hit your brain, you might get brain fog and can't remember things. If they hit your blood vessels, they could hurt your heart. And if you're a woman, menopause makes this process even worse. You see, estrogen helps blood flow through your body. When your estrogen levels drop, you have less oxygen running through your body, and your body has a harder time using the oxygen you do have. Men aren't immune either, because as you age, low testosterone makes this process even worse. In fact, by age 40, most men have lost 15% of their testosterone. And though that might not sound like a lot, this is definitely a case of every bit counts. That's because testosterone helps your body use oxygen efficiently at the cellular level. So when your testosterone levels decrease, your fat cells have a harder time using oxygen too. Your body starts storing more fat around your belly, which creates even more problems with oxygen flow. If you feel exhausted, even after a good night's sleep, if your brain feels foggy and you can't think clearly, or if you've been gaining weight around your middle, your thighs, or your hips, then this could be why. And that's not all. Both low estrogen and low testosterone make your body less sensitive to insulin, so you don't process sugar well. This leaves more sugar in your blood, giving it more chances to stick to your fat cells and form those shells. Do you see now why the shot can't do a darn thing when it comes to burning fat? It does a great job of suppressing your appetite, but it can't help your fat cells get more oxygen or destroy that rock-hard shell around your fat cells. So there's no chance it can tackle the real reason why you can't lose weight. What's concerning is that many people I talk to have struggled with those popular weight loss shots. They tell me about feeling constantly nauseous, dealing with stomach issues, or being too tired to enjoy their day. Many end up stopping because the side effects become too much to handle. And since these treatments are still relatively new, we're all learning about their long-term effects together. But here's the good news. Because if your fat cells can't get oxygen, creating rock-hard shells that lock away your stored fat and making weight loss nearly impossible. Then the opposite is also true. You could restore oxygen flow, break down those sugar shells, and unlock your fat burning again. And once you get those fat cells breathing and releasing stored energy, you could see dramatic changes in your body. You could stop feeling exhausted and sluggish all day, wake up feeling refreshed instead of drained, end the constant bloating, get relief from joint aches and stiffness, and get your body back again. That's where the nutcracker effect comes in.